Let's take a look at fixed graphics. Now, fixed graphics allows you to scale the responses in a consistent way, so you can have a y-axis that is fixed. This is especially useful if you are visually inspecting across, let's say, a lot of samples, looking for concentrations that exceed some limit. Now, the way that the y-axis is scaled is fit to the lowest calibration level response. And I'll show you that in a moment. Here we are in Batch at a Glance, and I've got the compound information graphics on auto scale. And I'm on the lowest level calibration, which is 3. And as I move up the calibration curve, you can see that the graphics are getting auto-scaled, as you'd expect. So let's see the behavior of the fixed graphics. Over here, I have fit to lowest calibration level. Now, if you notice, level 3 doesn't change that much. But as I move up the calibration curve, you'll notice that the scale stays at the lowest calibration level response. And this is quite applicable as well to the samples. So if I look at the samples, you can see that I can observe them with the scaling at the lowest calibration level over here. Let's take a look at the use of this fixed graphics with a technique called auto review samples and auto review compounds. So if I go to the application, I'll move over to Quant now. Let me first filter the samples so I will only look at the samples in the blanks. And I'm sitting here at the first sample. Next, let me add the qualifier ratio display, and I will take that from auto and also put that into the fixed graphics mode. So they're both the target as well as the qualifier ratio are fixed. And last, let me use this auto review feature. So I'm going to auto review the samples, which will show me one at a time the samples, and they're at this fixed scaling. So if I need to visually inspect them all, I can sit here and flip through that particular set of samples for that compound and then see if there's anything that I need to worry about. Let's take a look at the fixed graphics and using that with a report. And I'll show you in a moment using the target compound report, which shows you the batch organized by compound. And the advantage here of the fixed graphics is I can look at my samples and they're all set at the same y-axis, so I can visually inspect their concentrations, their responses, by looking at the chromatogram, looking at the peaks. This is useful when I'm surveying, again, a lot of samples, looking for specific cases where they might exceed some limit and I need to visually inspect them. Here we are in Batch at a Glance, and let me show you how to use these fixed graphics. We have the fixed graphics here for both the target and the qualifier. And what I'm going to do is to save those graphics by exporting those graphic settings. And you can see a file here called fixed by lowest cal level. So I'm going to save those. I've saved them already, so I'll save them again. And now, when I go to generate a report, which I'll do right now, you'll notice that I can load the graphic setting, and that will save those fixed graphic settings. So here I'm going to assign that as my graphic settings, and I'm going to pick a template called ISTD not detected by compound, and that is going to show me these samples by compound and also do a not detected for concentrations which don't appear. So I've taken that, and I will also choose to create a PDF version. So let me fire that up. I'll start the Q viewer and fire that baby up. And in a couple of moments, I will see that rolling, and then I will show you the report, which has, as I mentioned, the graphics in that compacted version sorted by compound, and that allows me to visually inspect using the report. All right, the report is done. That took only a couple of minutes. So let's look at first the Excel version which is created. And here I've got, I'll take a look at this compound, chloromethane. Each compound has its own sheet, which is quite nice to review. I've got the calibration curve for that compound, and then a list of the responses, and then I've got the graphics here, which I can compare with the fixed graphics. They're all fixed with the lowest calibration level. Let me next take a look at the PDF. And here I'll search on acetone, and I'll see here's acetone, same. I've got the fixed graphics at the bottom, which allows me to observe all of the chromatograms. And you'll notice in the final concentration there's not detected for the blank here, as well as several other samples for acetone. So that gives you a picture of using the fixed graphics both in Batch at a Glance as well as using the graphic settings in the reports to get that exactly the way you want it. Hope you enjoyed it.